Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Mystic Moon bringing you guys another reading. So today's topic is star-crossed lovers frozen in time, and the theme, why did it have to end? So obviously this is going to be about a situation, where you feel a soul connection still with another person despite the fact that you guys are no longer either in contact, speaking, seeing each other, etc. But this energy just still seems to linger. And so you just want to know, why did it have to end? What does it all mean, etc. So obviously just take what resonates for you and get rid of anything that doesn't. All the decks, as well as this beautiful Orgonite right here, will be listed in the description box down below. And if you guys are interested in your own personalized version of this reading or any of the other readings that I offer here on my channel, go ahead and email me at mysticmoonoracles@gmail.com. I'll put the information down below as well so you guys can easily access that information. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to take a look and see a snapshot of the highs and lows of your past love story with this person. So let's take a look. What are some of the highs and lows that you experienced with this individual? Some of the highs and lows that you experienced with this person. We have call for help, reach out, need for backup, admit your needs, okay? So this, of course, is about communication. The two of you have, exchanged a lot of information here, and maybe one of you was asking the other person for help, or you were trying to assist, trying to be of some sort of assistance. This person had a lot going on. Maybe they needed you in some way. Maybe you also had to get to a point where you needed to admit your own needs in this situation. So some of you guys may have entered into this connection as very much like it's all about them. And then eventually what may have happened is you started to feel depleted, like, well, what about me and my needs and what I want, etc. So that could have turned into a low. Let's see what else. Back and forth, Two of Pentacles. So I feel like, the highs with this person could have been at one point, you guys were a nice fluid exchange of energy. You were meeting their needs, they were meeting your needs. But I do feel at some point there could have been something that just was severely imbalanced here. It became too hard to juggle. This could also be an individual where there are other people involved. So this could be like a third party where somebody is juggling, two people at the same time. Or they could be also juggling like responsibilities, work, dependence, things like that. And maybe you're wanting to assist and help this individual because they have a lot of stuff going on. They're very up in the air, all over the place. Nothing is settled. They're kind of a very all over person. But I feel like at the end of the day, it started to become detrimental to your own well-being, to your own health. You were not getting your needs met in the end. It's like you had put so much effort and time into this person and situation, trying to be of assistance, only to be dropped either in the end or not appreciated. So I feel like it could have started as an extreme high. Everything was great. Everything was going well until it wasn't. Okay. So let's see what else is going on here. We have the nightmare energy. So definitely I feel it's like a dream turned into a nightmare. Could have happened very quickly. It could have happened over a period of time. But you had to start protecting yourself. You had to start protecting your energy, shielding yourself. Because again, I keep getting here like you're a natural helper. You want to help. You want to come in, maybe even rescue people. Maybe you were looking for this person to rescue you, but then of course it ended up turning into a nightmare because it started to deplete you. It started to make you feel like you were not a priority in this person's life. They weren't putting a lot of effort and dedication into your connection. So you gave, but it's like after a while you didn't get enough back in return. Okay? Maybe you thought that you could change this person only to find out that it didn't work. Could have also been other people in their lives were a freaking nightmare. There were nightmare influences. There were other people in their lives making this situation a living hell. But we do have the Magician, and what I want to say about this is that the only person that can change is you. That's it. We can't change other people. We may want that for them. We may encourage them, want to inspire them to change, but the change has to start within. So this person has to choose it, right? You could sit there all day long and, try to guide this person into making better choices, but until they actually want it, they're not going to do it. So I just feel that at the end of the day, you kind of had to kind of come to that realization, a really hard smack into reality, that this person, you know, has the tools, they have the ability to make these changes, to make these moves, but they weren't doing it. They weren't doing it. So that's it. So that might have been really tough here. It had so much potential I'm getting here. This person and you, this connection had so much potential. They didn't want to apply it. They didn't want to apply it. Or they didn't know how. They were lacking the tools to be able to fix something. So we have free will. Wow. And that's always a smack dab, bam, reality energy where it's just like, ugh, it's like gutted. What do you mean? You know, what do you mean that this person and I, who were so connected and we have this soul contract or whatever this is, that they have free will even in this situation to not honor the commitment, to not honor the contract that we've made with them? What do you mean they have free will to just walk away from this forever if they chose to, enter in another situation or with another person, or not change, not better themselves? It's very difficult to get to a point where you have to step back and let somebody be. It's one of the hardest things, in my opinion, in this freaking lifetime. But it might not be that hard for people that don't have issues with control, because I do. So I just feel like there could be something here where that was like a lesson here, where we really had good intentions coming in. We really did. We put our best foot forward. We really wanted to improve the lives of not only ourselves, but, you know, maybe of this person and this entire situation. But at the end of the day, it's like we can't do the work for other people, and we can't save other people. They have to do the work and they have to save themselves. They have to choose it, ultimately. So I feel like this could have been the nightmare. This is the beginning of the nightmare, right? All right, let's see what else. It's like getting so angry at another person because they're allowing someone in their life, like let's just say an overbearing parent or a manipulative ex-partner or even friend, right? Or family member, influence them. And you can see it, but they can't see it. Or they do see it, but they don't know how to deal with it, so they just let it continue. Very frustrating. Yeah, see, Three of Cups. I kind of get this feeling here that there's other people involved. There's either third party or there's another person involved in this situation, and somebody is really resisting change. They have the tools, they have the knowledge, but either they don't know how to use those tools or they don't want to. So again, this turns into a living hell, a living nightmare for you, the person that really wants to grow and really wants to prosper and change in this situation. You want to be happy. And you know, it shouldn't actually be a choice. It should just be like, you should just be happy. People have to choose it, unfortunately. So I'm just getting where there should have been a celebration. You had a lot of good times also with this person too, so it wasn't all bad. There was a lot of good times that you had together, and that might have made it so much harder to walk away from it or accept it when it was over, because you had such a great time with this person. There was such joy in the beginning, perhaps. But there's these other people or other situations that this person is either refusing to let go of, or just continues to allow to influence their choices in life, or they just may not want to settle down and commit. They may have commitment issues or whatever their deal is. Okay? So let's go ahead and get one more. One more of this highs and lows of your past love story. We have supernatural. I do feel like that is one of the things. One of the highs of this connection is that you felt something so profound. You felt something so freaking like out of this world, right? Supernatural, just something that was like, whoa, I've never felt anything like this before. And this may be one of the reasons that either you hung in so tight, you hung in so long, you know, you were just willing to make a lot of sacrifices because you felt such a deep, profound connection with this person, okay? We have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups, of course, is very romantic. It's it's poetic. It's like falling in love energy, especially in the beginning, okay? So what I'm picking up on for this connection is that in the beginning, it felt like magic. I'm not saying like it couldn't have continued to feel that way, but I mean, in the beginning, it was very, very powerful. It was very, very magical. But with the page is a child. The page has not matured yet. So I feel like as great as it was to meet this person and to connect with them, I'm getting this energy of something that's just simply not mature enough to sustain a long period of time, at least at that time when you were dealing with this person. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of healing that needs to be done. There's just a lot of awareness, self-awareness that needs to be obtained on someone's end, perhaps even your own. So that's the thing. You came together with this person, obviously, for a reason. You felt all these things for a reason, but you are learning something of great value always in any soul connection, really, that you encounter. But this particular one, it's very near and dear to your heart. I can see this. And it's just one of those things where it's just like falling so deeply and so hard, maybe even just so quick. It's like, whoa, I never fall for anybody, or I never feel this deep. I never feel this connected to anyone. So it's one of those feelings that just, it won't leave. You know, you feel like it has to mean something. It has to mean something. And it does mean something, but it's not going to do us any good to hold on tightly to somebody that can't change right now, or doesn't want to grow, or that wants to go. It's not going to help matters. It's only going to create what? A nightmare for us if we do not accept that everyone has free will to grow and to do whatever they need to do, you know, in their own way. So I feel like this, of course, it's like major high energy. Yes, it's just so magical. But then it turns into a nightmare, and that's the total low. Like, wow, you finally meet somebody that you feel like this is the person you've been looking for your entire life, just for it not to work out because of this or because of that. It's just gut-wrenching, okay? So I'm not trying to be dramatic, but that is the energy I'm picking up on. So I don't know, maybe you feel dramatic about it. All right, so let's now take a look and see what was the influence that ultimately tore this connection apart. So, you know, in the end, like what tore it apart? What was the straw that broke the camel's back? Why did this connection have to end? We have scavenged. You know, this is very interesting to me. This is like a desperate attempt to just accept crumbs, accept anything. And that might be what happened here. It's like it literally brought you to a level of such low self-esteem and low self-worth that you were willing to do anything just to keep this person. I'm going to tell you guys from personal experience, oh gosh, I was watching, what was that movie? I think it's He's Just Not That Into You, actually yesterday. And I'm like, oh my God, almost every single one of these women in the storyline I can identify because I've lived it. And it was just like, like that just feeling, you know what I mean? Where you're just like, wow, I wish that I could go back and change that because it's so cringe, right? But where you're at a particular time with yourself, sometimes you just get to that desperate point where you're willing to do anything, even to do things that you normally wouldn't do, things that aren't who you are, in order to keep someone because you are afraid of being abandoned or you're afraid of losing them. You don't want to lose them. So I'm getting here that someone's desperate attempt, you're throwing away who you are, you're like abandoning yourself, didn't work out. Okay, it didn't work out in the end. And so it almost like made the situation worse. And we're not putting any blame on you for doing anything here. It's just that it's an energy that, you know, we can cry, we can beg, we can plead, but it almost makes matters worse. And I also just got this. This particular person might be addicted to dysfunction, toxicity, as in roughing it, being with individuals that don't really care about them, that don't meet their needs. Maybe you were the kind of person where you were too giving, you were too kind, and they were like, ooh, cringe, right? That's their own dysfunction, you guys. So the high priestess, at the end of the day, there's a lot of mystery here. There's a lot of mystery as to why it ended and why it didn't work. We didn't get a lot of answers. We didn't get a lot of maybe communication or a lot of explanation from this person as to why they were ending. They may have just ghosted, or they may have just basically said, I just need some time and space. And you just didn't get a lot of information. And this could have really exasperated and triggered like an attachment response in you, which was to chase, which was to hold on for dear life. So I feel like there is some sort of behavior here that ended up kind of working against this, what we were trying to do, which was to hold on. We may have even decided, you know, I'm going to give this person time and space. I'm going to just withdraw, withhold, and it still wasn't enough for this person to come back around. So please, there's a lot of people in the story, and you guys are all going through different things or have different experiences. So just take what is resonating here. But I'm just kind of spitting it out, all these different things that are coming to me. So I just feel at the end of the day, what ultimately tore this connection apart, my main energy here is that this person does not know how to, they don't know how to be in a loving connection. They don't know how to be with somebody that is actually treating them with kindness and love and compassion. It's foreign to this person. They don't even realize why they are not into it. It's actually unbeknownst to them. They don't even know. They don't even understand. So this tells me here that this page is somebody who is still got a lot of work to do. They still have a lot of growing to do and maturing to do. And perhaps with time and maturity, they may come to that realization and understanding that they've got some sort of an issue in that area. Okay, so let's see what else. What ultimately was the influence that tore this connection apart? There could have also been things that were secrets, lies, deception. Somebody was now trying to deliberately withhold information. And what this also did is it triggered you to go into that detective mode. And you may have even appeared paranoid, or this person used this against you to say, hey, you know what? This is too much for me. So it's like the scripts got flipped. Someone's trying to lie, but then they gaslight you, and then somehow they turn you into the problem. Okay, just take it if it resonates. What else? Yeah, see, there's some kind of an issue with communication. The way that someone was communicating was not good. It was not good. It was either a lack of communication, or the communication was coming on very much in this like anxiety or total lack of regard for your feelings. Almost like I said, it's like the avoidant, anxious attachment on the spectrum here. So the avoidant is just completely shutting down. And what that does is it completely like lights up the anxious, and they just, like, tell me. I need to know. And then the avoidant it's just like stepping out of the building. So it just makes the situation a total nightmare. You know, and it's not what you want. It's just you guys are feeding off of each other's maybe insecurity, dysfunction. So I feel like that was a huge factor here in this situation with the Page of Pentacles. So we have two pages here. So what I want to say, you guys, I mean, no one is perfect, right? Every connection that you enter in, there's always going to be some area where you're going to learn something, you know, and there are some people that you will run across where you are more advanced, you are more emotionally mature than they are, or more emotionally available. That can be the case. But we have two pages here. So this does tell me that there is something of great value for you to learn. I feel like where this person needs to emotionally mature, I feel like maybe where you need to mature is in your self-worth with who you are, you know, just kind of knowing who you are. And when we don't know who we are, when we feel insecure, a lot of people can gaslight us. A lot of people can cause us to second guess what we're thinking and what we're even feeling, because we're not solid with who we are. So I feel like this particular situation may have taught you something about you. Maybe you didn't communicate the best either. So this is an opportunity for you to realize that, you know, maybe you didn't speak your needs. Maybe you held a lot back. Maybe you just kept saying yes, when really you should have been saying no, and then it blew up in your face later. So there's something here for both of you to learn. But I feel like the ultimate thing that tore this connection apart is you have two people that are speaking two different languages. We've got Cups and we've got Pentacles, totally opposite here. So it makes it very difficult for us to, you know, get on the same page and to really know what the hell is going on. So I feel like there's two languages here that are being spoken that are not understood by either one of you. So that's a clash. We have curiosity. I feel like somebody was still curious as to, is the grass greener on the other side? Is there, something else out there for me? So this could have also caused a problem here. Somebody was just very, very curious to see what else was out there. Is this something where, if I commit to you, am I sealing the deal? Am I closing myself off to other people and other situations? So somebody may not have been ready to actually settle down and commit. So I'm getting that. And that's not about you. And it's very, very difficult, you guys, not to make that about ourselves. It's like, why am I not good enough for this person to basically choose me and settle down with me? It really isn't about that. So do you see? The Eight of Wands is communication, and it's also about forward momentum. I feel like this person was so focused on just leaving and getting out when things got tough, when things got too heavy, when things got too serious. This person's like, I'm out. And they may have this, coping style that they use in life to where when the tough, I can't think of the phrase, but you know what I mean? Like they're not in it for the long haul. It's like quick. So if things aren't quick and easy, easily attainable, then if it takes hard work, or they have to actually take responsibility for their actions or the things that they're saying and doing, how it's affecting others, etc., it's like, it's just easier to just run away from it and just back out the door. See you later. I think this is, we have a crow that is in an open doorway and an open window. This person's always looking for a way out. They're always looking to fly away. They don't want to deal with shit. They don't want to deal with the repercussions of their actions. They don't want to deal with something. So again, I know I use this a lot, but this particular person is coming across as someone who is more avoidant. And you are coming across as somebody who wants to actually talk about things and deal with things. And this person just doesn't have the tools, or didn't have the tools at the time, to be able to handle that. So this looks to me what ultimately tore this connection apart. There could be other things, of course, but that's the core. So if this sounds like somebody that you were dealing with, somebody that there was so much potential, but things started happening, things started just kind of, falling apart, then I could be plugged into your situation. So we're going to shift over onto the extended version. So if you'd like to invest more in this situation or this reading, we are going to go into more things over there. And I'll list in the description box down below what we're going to go into. And I'll also put the extended version in the pinned comment at the top comment section. So anyways, you guys, hopefully I'll see you over there. And if not, no worries. Thank you so much for choosing to watch this reading today. If you enjoyed it or it helped you out in any way or it resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it in the comment section. All right, you guys, you take care. Bye-bye.